Heavenly Father, we come to you today with humble hearts, seeking your guidance and wisdom as we begin this program. Lord, we ask that you would bless every person who has gathered here today, and that you would be present with us in a special way. We pray that this program would be a time of learning, growth, and fellowship for all of us. Help us to listen to one another with open hearts and open minds, and to support one another as we strive to serve you in all that we do. Please give us the strength and the courage to follow your will and to use the gifts and talents you have given us to make a positive difference in the world. We pray all of this in your holy name. Amen.
Hello everyone! Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat and welcome to another learning activity offered to you by Scale Up Training and Development. So as of the moment, we are live both dito sa ating Zoom as well as sa aming official Facebook page na Scale Up Training and Development. So kahit saan man kayo sa dalawa na nagpa-participate, you will still receive the same set of discussion, the same na mga insights na i-share sa atin tonight ng ating mentor for human resource. So bago tayo mag-proceed with the discussion proper para sa ating HR 110 or 110, please focus first your attention na i-observe and be responsible sa ating mga house rules for tonight. So hindi na bago ito sa mga nakapag-participate na in the past ng mga webinars ng Scale Up Training and Development. And eto rin for sure, ang mga house rules ng mga other organizers every time that they are conducting an online event like this. Kaya hindi na bago ito sa inyo. So please be responsible for the following. The first one is to keep your microphone muted. So kailangan aware kayo always na naka-mute kayo para hindi ma-interrupt si mentor while nagbibigay siya ng kanyang discussion. As well as hindi rin ma-interrupt yung co-participants ninyo. So you need to be aware all the time kasi baka accidentally na-unmute ninyo ang inyong microphone. So magugulat kami, mai-interrupt ang ating session. Pwede nyo namang gamitin or if you want to say something, like for example, si mentor, meron siyang insights na shinare, experience na shinare, tapos gusto nyo ring mag-share ng sa inyo, you are actually welcome to do that. Pero bago mag-unmute ng microphone, please notify us first by raising your hand. Di ba meron naman yan dito sa Zoom? So hintayin nyo muna na ma-recognize namin kayo before ninyo i-unmute ang inyong sarili. Use the chat responsibly. Kung hindi naman kayo comfortable na verbal ninyo sasabihin or yung tanong ninyo, you can make use of the chat box. Yung chat box natin hindi lang for questions. Meron din kasing kumbaga pagkakataon na magtatanong si mentor sa mga participants at kailangan niya ng inyong participation. So that's why we are hoping na kapag merong tinatanong si mentor, tapos kailangan niya ng response from the audience, yung nandito sa Zoom, we are hoping na you will participate you will cooperate by engaging, no, sa chat box or through yung mga available na emojis. Respect the speaker and participants. So give your full attention, no, while someone is talking. Stay present. Maximum naman natin yung 8 o'clock in the evening, no? Kaya we are hoping na you will stay up to the end, aside from the fact na meron din kasi tayong attendance, no, later on bago tayo matapos sa ating session. Keep your camera on if possible lang naman. Okay, so yan yung mga basic and common na mga house rules that we need to follow accordingly. So, yung ating human resource na webinar series, medyo malayo-layo na rin, no, yung narating natin. This is the 10th. Yung session natin ngayong gabi, ito yung ikasampung webinar series under the category of human resource. And bago tayo nakarating sa 110, which is all about performance management, so napakalawak yan, and of course the mentor will just share mga important na kailangan ninyong malaman, no, in regards to performance management. So bago tayo nakarating sa 110, ito yung listahan ng ating mga previously conducted human resource na mga components. So yung ating 101 sa nakikita nyo sa right side of your screen, we started from 101, which is HR management. Yung ating 102 is all about talent acquisition. Yung ating third series was all about training and development. The fourth one was all about compensation and benefits. Yung ating 105 was all about workplace compliance. The sixth series, pinag-usapan natin dyan yung employee relation and talent retention. 107 focused on discussing about HR policies and procedures. Yung ating 108 is all about wellness, safety, and health. At yung pinaka-last natin na natapos under human resource was all about employee loyalty and human capital retention. So yan yung ating ika-9th series. And for tonight, ika-10, again, is all about performance management naman. If you want to learn from the previously conducted webinars natin, yung 101 hanggang 109, pwede ninyong mapanood, no, through the recorded session na pwede ninyong mapanood sa aming YouTube channel. So pwede ninyong i-search sa YouTube yung Scale Up Training and Development. So that's the channel name, Scale Up Training and Development. And as you can see on the left side of the screen, of your screen, naka-playlist na. Kumbaga, the moment na mag-visit kayo doon sa YouTube channel ng Scale Up, pwede naman ninyong i-utilize yung search box. Pwede kayong mag-type doon ng key phrase na human resource. The moment you will press enter, mafi-filter yung search result sa lahat ng HR-related webinars. Pero mas easier, no, na pumunta kayo sa playlist, no, doon sa YouTube channel may playlist, tapos puntahan nyo yung human resource para, kumbaga, group yourselves according to, parang ganyan na kaagad, no, the boat is sinking. Tapos doon nyo pwedeng mapanood, again, yung mga previous episodes natin related to human resource. And if you are interested to get a certificate, you can always visit the link na nakikita nyo sa left side, sa right side ng ating screen, no? Yung nasa sa baba, visit this link. You can actually save that. Pwede yung picturean, screenshot ba yan ninyo para the moment you are interested to get a certification after watching and after learning, pwede rin. Well, actually, that link, yung link na yan, makikita nyo rin naman sa bawat description ng YouTube videos namin. Kaya, pwede na rin ninyong i-click na lang doon diretsyo. Okay, so, yan yung ating previously conducted na HR webinars. And for tonight, we are going to proceed with 110, and this is all about performance management. At yung ating guide question, no, for this webinar. The guide question will also serve as the webinar subtitle sa mga nakapag-participate na before, no, sa mga webinars ni Scale Up. Nagre-reflect, no, yung ating guide question sa certificate ninyo in a form of a subtitle. And our guide question for tonight goes like this: how to optimize employee performance to drive sustainable organizational growth and development. So since this is all about performance management, so paano ba natin ma-optimize, no? Kapag sinabi natin optimize, kumbaga making use of it into its full advantage. Kumbaga parang isagad natin ba, no? Paano tayo maka-fully benefit from this? No, yan yung ibig sabihin ng salitang optimize. So paano natin i-optimize yung performance ng ating mga empleyado in order for our organization to drive sustainable, no, growth and development. Siyempre, yung ating mentor for tonight is a very competent, no, na resource person for this topic. Matagal-tagal na rin nating kasama, no, yung ating mentor for tonight. And just to give you a fact, lahat ng ating human resource na webinars, siya yung ating mentor. So yung ating 101 hanggang ngayon, so kasama pa rin natin siya. So that's why kapag meron kayong natutunan sa kanya tonight and you are interested to listen and learn more from him, so I already gave an instruction kung saan siya pwedeng mapanood, kung saan kayo pwedeng maka-learn. Okay? So yung ating mentor for tonight, yung ating resource person this evening is a human resource management expert and a human resource strategy specialist. So currently, he is working as the recruitment director of Virtual Staffing Solutions. Some of his professional certifications are the following. Isa siyang certified human resource professional under sa International Federation of Professional Managers, Philippines. Meron din siyang certification as a paralegal professional ng University of the Philippines. In the past, no, when he was still based here in Davao City, kung saan din kami located, kasi ngayon, medyo malayo na siya geographically, no, sa Davao City. Pero in the past, dito kami nagkaroon ng working relationship when he functioned as the Special Projects Director of our ICT Council or yung tinatawag naming ICT Council of Davao Incorporated. So, everyone, please help me welcome our mentor for tonight. We have Mentor Michael or Kael Pinto. Hello, Mentor. Good evening.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Hello. Yes, yes. Although parang medyo mahina lang no, or baka sa volume ko lang.
Okay, probably. Just tell
Pero
me
naririnig
kung,
naman. Okay naman.
just tell me kung ano, kasi I'm using a Bluetooth headset, so I probably. Anyway, can we start na pipes the discussion?
Yes, yes. You can now share your screen and then you can start whenever you are ready. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So, good evening, everyone. So, we actually have a topic that we will be discussing tonight, and it's really about performance management. So this is from the point of view of HR, kasi syempre, di ba, we also have performance management based sa, like, let's say, operational side of it, how team leaders or managers would rate specific employees when it comes to their performance, 'di ba? Alam niyo na 'yan. By the way, let's go back muna to the participants here. Are like is everyone here students ba or professionals na? Do we have HR practitioners as well? Wait lang. I'm trying to check the chat kung saan. So everyone ba are students? You can chat, you can probably raise your hand so that I would know. So Melchor, are you a student? You can type guys your response. Okay, fresh grad, office admin. Okay.
Good evening. Hello, sir. Good evening po.
Hi.
Um, I am a fresh graduate, sir. Kaka-graduate ko lang po nung May 20, this May po. Ay, nung May lang po last month.
Okay.
Last month po. And, ano po ako, HR major din po ako. I took the Bachelor of
Okay.
Science in Business Administration po, major in Human Resource po. And, I am also a certified Human Resource Associate po. Thank you.
Okay, that's good. Thank you. The reason why I asked that is, of course, we need to tailor fit our discussion, di ba? We might be talking about performance management, tapos ang ending students pa yung mga ano natin, yung mga audience. So we can't really like deep dive into performance management if most of the participants are actually just students. Kasi, di ba, number one, it will not be very relevant for them. Number two, we might be talking jargon, like, things that's not really that basic. Like, we're dealing more with the professional side of the topic, for example. So at least we know that there are people are already graduates here. Some are professionals. So we can proceed with just our usual rigor when it comes to performance management. So as I was saying earlier, performance management, of course, there's a side in the operations naman where um, managers or supervisors would measure the performance of an individual based on the agreed upon KPIs or key performance indicators, right? So, but in the HR side, what's performance management ba? Especially in the Philippine context. Kasi, di ba, in the US or in other countries, HR and the workspace or the workplace is also different. Dito sa Philippines, um, actually the government is very pro-employee, if you can say that. It has an intensive clauses in the labor code to protect the welfare of the employees, especially if you are already a regular employee. So yon. So anyway, if you have questions, mamaya, just raise your hand or type your questions on the chat box, and then we can just proceed. Okay, I will not introduce myself again. Piper introduced me. But I love cosplay and I do photography. I travel a lot. And as Piper said niya kanina, I also worked with ICT Davao as a special projects director for our initiative with the academe or the schools. And I've been in the HR space siguro since hindi pa kayo pinanganak. I started as an HR assistant 2005, July of 2005. And then I moved to the BPO space. So imagine 2005, that's 21 years. So I might be in the industry as, longer than some of you guys here in the chat. I mean, in Zoom. Okay, so let's start with let's start with the saying from Ralph Marston. Um, he said, don't lower your expectations to meet your performance. So we need to raise our level of performance to meet the expectation. So Yan, so what are the things but that we will be discussing in HR performance management? So number one is to simplify the management concept or the performance management concept. So performance management kasi, di ba, it's not just um, your, say, probationary ka and then you will undergo the performance management na cycle to make you a regular employee, di ba? But what happens after you have been regularized? So ano yung next na mga steps? Um, wala lang ba, you just do what you want? So we also, part of the objective is also to shift the mindset from annual appraisal to continuous development. And we need to contextualize it within Philippine HR realities. So to move forward, what are the key points of this discussion? So performance management is a continuous process. So it's not just once in a year review. So I don't know if anyone is working here, but for the professionals who are actually working, how many times ba kayo na nag-undergo ng performance review nyo? Again, just type on the chat room or raise your hand probably. I can't really see the hands, but you can type. So ilang beses kayo na-appraise sa mga companies niyo now? Unless na hindi kayo na regular or natanggal kayo, so syempre konti lang yun. But how many performance appraisal should you have in a year, for example? So syempre, during sa first year natin, 'di ba, may expected na performance review during your regularization. That's 180 days after your start date, right? Or at least before that. Say 150 days on your 5th month, there will be an appraisal. However, it should not be the only performance appraisal you will have prior to your regularization. Why am I saying that? Kasi, di ba, during your signing of your job offer or your contract, it should indicate what are the measures of your regularization. So dapat, pag start mo pa lang, pag receive mo pa lang ng offer, or pag sign mo pa lang ng contract, alam mo na kung what are the things that you need to meet para ma-regularize ka. Diba? Some of the companies, wala yan. They don't even discuss to you your scores or the expected na targets mo. Now, that is very tricky because according to the labor, kailangan ma-indicate pa lang sa start ng employment mo what are the targets that you need to hit in order for you to be regularized. So, in my previous company, we have a 3rd month appraisal to make sure where you are at sa journey mo towards regularization. And in my current company, we have it 60 days. But ideally, it should be 30, 60, 90 na feedback, then 150 during your your 5th month. 30 days, of course, sa start pa lang ng work, dapat discuss sa inyo yung targets niyo, what are your targets that you need to hit. At during your 30-day appraisal, magbibigay ng feedback si manager? Ano ba, or si supervisor? Ano ba yung nangyayari sa'yo? Are you hitting your target? What are your help items? Then sa 60 days, to continue what went well and to probably change strategy kung may mga failures. Third month, of course, this is where parang the halfway to your regularization. Again, there will be a review of your current performance and what are the areas for improvement. And then on the fifth month, dito na natin malalaman kung na-hit mo ba yung target o wala. Now, what the company can do is to make sure na ma-hit mo siya in 30 days or you will be asked to extend another 30 days sa probation mo. And this is, of course, documented. Kailangan mag-sign kayo in agreement na dalawa, ang company and the employee agree to extend your probationary period for another 30 days in order for you to hit your targets. Now, what will happen? For example, kung hindi ka nakahit ng target or at least sa fifth month mo or sa third month mo, hindi mo na-hit yung target. And na-coach ka na, there are already interventions in place pero hindi mo pa rin na-hit. Then the company may opt to separate you for non-regularization. So yan yung magiging consequence, of course, if hindi mo pa rin nagawa o hindi mo pa rin na-hit yung target na sinet ni company. But if if you're not aware of like your targets, di ba? Sometimes, and I've seen it, people would complain to labor na parang non-regularization siya, pero nagreklamo sila kasi illegal dismissal daw. Kasi wala daw sila na coach, wala silang scores, etc. Then labor can actually will check the merits of your complaint. Pero normally kasi if you're not a regular employee, di ba, pag wala kang security of tenure, the company can actually remove you at any time with just cause. So, example, nag-absent ka. Sa amin kasi before, when we're regular probationary, hindi kami pwede mag-absent. 1 absent lang or 2 absences or 3 late, you can be terminated. And that's also agreed upon during the signing of the offer. So, syempre, mga kids ngayon, di ba? Konti-konti lang mag-absent. But that should not be the practice. During your probationary period, you should be exemplary when it comes to your performance. So, yun lang. So, it's not a once in a year review. After regularization, the next review or assessment that you will have is your annual performance review. So, that's 1 year, usually happening during the company's fiscal year or prior to the fiscal year because dito nakikita kung sino yung ipopromote, sino yung bibigyan ng increase, sino yung walang increase. And it usually happens in sync or synchronized with the company's fiscal calendar or whatever calendar the company is observing. Now, after that, sa amin before, after the annual appraisal, where you will be reviewed, of course, ibibigay ng manager mo ano yung nangyari, what went well, what did not go well, and what will be your goals. So mag-goal setting ka na naman for the next year. Mag-goal setting ka, what are the goals that you are setting for yourself, for the department. Sa amin kasi, it's cascaded usually. There is a company goal, there is a departmental goal, there is a manager or a team goal, and there's a personal goal. So, ita-translate natin yung goal ni company into smaller bits. So, yan. So, nagsiset kami ng goal for our team, for our department, and then we also the employees will set the goal for themselves. So, after na nag-set ng goal during the annual appraisal, 6 months after, a mid-year appraisal should happen to check kung saan ka na. Did you hit your goal ba? What are your areas for improvement? But every 3 months after your annual appraisal, for example, annual appraisal is December. March, there is a coaching session already. Magko-coach na si PL or si supervisor kung saan na si employee sa targets niya. So magko-coach, then there's a mid-year appraisal to check the status of your goals. Then another 3 months, there is another coaching session to check kung na-hit mo ba yung mga prinamis mo na mga targets, na-change ba yung areas for improvement, how near are you to the annual target. So yun yun. So hindi siya once a year lang. Ang tagal natin dyan. Anyway, key points pa lang. In the Philippines, many companies still rely on manual spreadsheet-based reviews, which are, of course, inefficient and mistrusted. Kasi pag Excel lang yan, Word lang yan, it could be tampered with, di ba? Pwedeng ma-change ng kahit sino. Once ma-sign siya, pwede pa din ma-change. Kasi, yun nga, manual siya. And only a small percentage of employees feel performance reviews actually motivate improvement. Tayo as employees, we should be looking at performance management as a mirror, di ba? Para siyang mirror. It should be a mirror that reflects your performance to you and hindi siya parang it should actually help you motivate yourself if you are motivated with the work that you do naman. Kasi kahit anong motivate pa ng supervisors nyo, pag hindi talaga kayo motivated or hindi nyo gusto yung trabaho nyo, then you are always demotivated. Questions about this before we proceed to the next slide? Again, you can type para at least madami tayong ma-discuss. Okay, if wala na, I'll move to the next slide. So the Philippine local context, there are only 3 that we have here. HR must balance, again, employee handbook or the company policy and the labor code. Diba? Si labor code naman, hindi siya masyadong strict if everything in the labor code is complied and or the company is giving something way better. So yan, for example, si labor code. Ano ba sa labor code natin yung leaves? What are the leaves na entitled ka, di ba? SLRs, service SIRs, service SILs, service incentive leaves. So by law, you are entitled to have 5 SILs after a year of working sa company, and these are convertible to cash if you did not use them, but it is both your SL and VL or anything, we call it PTO or paid time offs. Basta 5 lang siya in 1 year. Pag hindi mo siya na-consume, the company will convert it to cash. Pero bakit si labor, minsan may nagreklamo pa na, we are entitled to have 5 SILs, pero hindi ko siya nakikita sa offer. Because your offer indicated that you have 10 vacation leaves and you have 10 sick leaves. So 20 na yan compared to your SIL na 5 lang, di ba? And 5 or 10 of your sick leaves are convertible to cash. So that is better than what the Department of Labor or the Labor Code dictates. So see, labor, they are okay with better compensation. Sabi ko nga, okay, if gusto mo lang 5 SIL, hindi okay. Will you forgo the 20 paid time offs, di ba? So, si labor naman, wala yan siyang problema. Basta, mas better or at least labor standard or better ang binibigay ni company. So, there. rapid business growth. So eto din, medyo tricky because in the performance management perspective, if the company is growing rapidly, nadiderail ang performance management because of the movement of the employees plus the change in the leadership. So yan, for example, may nag-i-expect ka ng performance management or performance appraisal from your manager and then your manager resigned. Or your manager was promoted to a different department. So mga ganyan. And also retention challenges, di ba? Especially in the industry, yung IT-BPM na industry, the turnover is really, really fast. Na minsan, nag-expect ka ng performance management as an employee sa imong supervisor, and then your supervisor is not there anymore. Or similarly, if you're a manager, you're supposed to do a performance management or a performance appraisal to one of your employees and then nag-resign na pala siya. So those are challenges actually in retention as well. So we have traditional versus modern performance management. So what are the old approach? So ito yung annual reviews, di ba? Like every year lang, nagbibigay ng review. So bahala ka, bahala si Batman from day 1 to day 364. Kasi ang appraisal mo once a year lang. So that, oh wait. Also, for ratings focus, so it's really focused on the scoring. Did you hit the target? Did you not hit the target? They don't really mind kung ano yung reason behind it. And it's always manager-only feedback. So it's only the manager who gives the feedback. Hindi siya yung parang, hindi siya nga yung parang, ano to, 360 or 180, you can call that. But we will discuss that later. And it's also backward looking. So it's always from today, from today, moving back a year. So they're gonna check your performance. Compare it to the modern approach, which is a continuous feedback. Hindi lang siya monthly or hindi lang siya yearly. If there is an instance that you need a coaching or a feedback, it's given. There are also more frequent check-ins, like a weekly coaching session or a monthly coaching session. Even for me, I have a coaching session with my the leads that I'm handling. But I also do a skip level. I also do a check-in with the recruiters. I also have an open door policy kasi that the recruiters can just go to me and ask questions. Not because I'm a director that, they need to like request kung appointment, whatever, di ba? Sa iba, meron yan. Kasi ang mga directors sa ibang companies, especially the traditional companies, may sekretarya dyan na feeling director din na, very strict. It's like your campus secretary sa school na nagbabantay sa mga office ng registrar, ng VP, tapos mas maldita pa sila. So yan. So there are more frequent check-ins, and it is strength-based and future-oriented. So i-check, you are appraised based on the strengths that you have shown in the past months, for example, and it's also future-oriented. That means it will reflect, the manager will talk about the past, of course, but it will be asking also what are the goals that you have moving forward. So yon, or what are your areas for improvement moving forward. And also employee development focus. So in the past kasi, di ba, companies are really very, if you can call it stingy, like isang manager lang, 60 people, mga ganyan. They're not really observing the spans. But now kasi, most of the companies that are modern would be willing to even promote you na hindi ka pa nag 5 years, right? Before kasi meron talaga yan na dapat ma-meet mo yung criteria that 3 years ka para ma-promote or something. Now kasi if the employee displays exceptional na skills, then they are developed or groomed into leaders. So yan. Questions muna before we proceed? My throat is dry, sorry. Questions? Wala na? Okay, let's move. So, evidences or evidence and trends. So, 82% of companies are redesigning performance systems to be ongoing and personalized. So there's really a change in the market as well. And continuous feedback leads to 50% of course of higher performance. Siyempre, pag ang mga tao binibigyan mo ng feedback, right? If you give them a feedback, if you give them information on the things that they need to improve on, usually naman, they would improve, especially if they like their jobs, di ba? And also, there is a shift to engineering human performance versus just rating employees. So when we say engineering human performance, um, we are looking at all aspects of the performance, not just yung rate lang na na-hit mong sales, na-hit mo yung ganito, na-hit mo yung calls. Now, there are what we call qualitative and quantitative aspects of the performance. So, of course, if it's qualitative, it's more behavioral than the quantitative are like, data and number based. So, yon. So, it should be looked at in a more holistic way. Ika nga. Okay, next. What are the core components of modern performance management? So, setting or goal setting, the OKRs or the KPIs. So objectives plus measurable key results. So eto siya is where your manager will give you targets or goals and then make sure that there are measurable key results. Okay. So paano mo nga daw, like let's say, paano mo ma-measure ang behavior? Diba? Yan yung mga questions sa performance management or sa assessments. It could be measured by ano ba, may mga escalations ba? Is there like say reklamo from the teammate, reklamo from the clients? So those things. It also helps translate strategy into clear trackable outcomes. That's why it should always be measurable. Ito nga, di ba? The result should be measured. So hindi lang na how many ganito yung natinda ng isang employee, but could be a lot of factors pa din that's gonna help the managers decide on the score na ibibigay sa empleyado. Also typically set quarterly, so it's every 3 months. It's agile because it could happen not in isang way lang na hindi matatapos yung isa before you cannot proceed to the next level kung hindi mo matapos yung isa. That's they call it in project management, the waterfall. But it's agile. When you say it's agile, it could happen simultaneously, it could happen in parallel, and it's very responsive. That means pag may findings, we give a feedback, di ba? Pag may nakikita kaming improvement, we give a feedback. And that's also the reason na it will actually come to the level where we hit the objective to improve the efficiency of recruiting. Kasi syempre, once we see the performance of the employees, for example, the first 30, 60, 90 days, kung pangit yung performance na majority of them, if it has like let's say a pattern or a precedent, like madaming, let's say madaming, ang may pattern talaga sa batch na yan na ganito, pangit yung mga, like more than 50% pangit ang performance, similar ang issues, then we can go back to recruitment and tell them that, we need to redefine or improve the recruitment process kasi yung nakukuha yung mga tao, nagre-resign after 30 days, hindi nagpe-perform, etc. So that could help recruitment to also improve the process. Also for example, for recruitment then, KR1 or the key result one could also reduce time to hire by 20%. So ito yung sa example na to, by the way, ang sabi nila daw, paano mo, ito yung binigay ko kanina, di ba, behavior, yung paano natin i-measure. Ito sa example na to na binigay is, paano mo ma-improve yung efficiency ni recruiting as well. So, yan, reduce time to hire by 20% or improve candidate NPS to 90. Sa amin ngayon, sa recruitment team, sa team ko, ang amin is, our time to hire target is 14 days. Pero ang 14 days na yan, passing lang yan. So, if our recruiters if our recruiters hit 14 days, they just get a passing rate of 90 or 80, 85 or 90. Kasi they did not really exceed the expectation. They just hit the expectation. But if they exceed the expectation, pag nag-score yan sila ng 95%, or at least let's say they hit it na na-close nila ang mga hiring nila ng 12 days, then they get higher scores, of course. And also for candidate NPS. So NPS namin now is at 35% because 35 ang targets namin. So 35, if we hit 35, they get 90% lang. Kung mas mataas yung satisfaction scores, then it's a higher score for the team as well. So yan lang siya. For continuous feedback, by the way, may questions pala for this? Any questions? Wala? Again, just type your questions para mas madami tayong ma-discuss. So continuous feedback, regular check-ins instead of yearly review. And we need, or the managers should focus on the progress of the employee. Ano yung progress niya since the employee started? For example, up until now, what are the blockers or something, things, people, circumstances that prevents the employee from hitting the target, and what support the employee needs. So the insight here is to do a weekly check-ins because they are proven to improve engagement and productivity. So yan. Also, we have, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na 360 feedback. So sometimes yung performance nga na appraisal, sinisend lang siya sa managers, which dapat it should also be sent to everyone around the employee. For example, bagong employee. Excuse me. Bagong employee. So there should be an appraisal or a feedback form sent to the immediate supervisor, sent to the peers, and sent to, well, bagong employee man. So wala pa siyang direct reports. So peers and one up or level 1 manager. So yun. Kasi si manager will usually give a feedback about the performance. Ang peers, yung mga ka-level ni employee, will actually give a feedback on the behavior. Maganda ba siya katrabaho? Palagi ba siyang absent? Palagi ba siyang naglo-loiter? Palagi ba siyang nagdidistorbo? Hindi niya ba alam yung ginagawa niya? So that is actually also considered. So Imamatch siya ni HR lahat ng feedback and convert it to score so we can give a an unbiased rating, kumbaga. Kasi sometimes, di ba, si manager baka they're close lang. So the score is a bit higher. Or sometimes one of the peers, ilaglag lang. So HR should be able to really analyze and check on the data to make sure na hindi siya biased and get the insights from the feedbacks as well. So it also creates balanced multi-perspective evaluation. So again, going back to your qualitative and your quantitative appraisal. So there, questions about this? Melcher, are you saying anything? You're on mute. Oh, baka wala. Okay, let's move to the next one, development and coaching. So performance conversation should always focus on growth, di ba? So when you say performance conversation, kasi di ba sa mga coaching usually, bago pa lang, good morning. Tapos, oh, you failed this week. Mga ganyan agad. So it should not focus on the failures, but it should focus on the growth. We have a lot of coaching styles naman, di ba? Yung pinaka-common is yung sandwich method nga, sabi nila. The tinapay on top, the bread on top should be something that the employee did well. Then yung patty would be the areas for improvement. Ano yung what did not go well. Then another positive reinforcement sa end ng coaching. It's like, oh, good morning. Good that you have been performing. You have been at the office on time the entire week, and you have been helping out the tasks of your co-workers. However, I noticed that your scores are dipping this week, and we have not closed any successful sales. What happened? So yon, discuss. Then you give them the coaching. It's fine na ganito yung gagawin mo, but if you can see, there's also an improvement on how short your calls were, how short some calls mo. But I suggest that ganito yung gawin mo to balance it out, ganyan. So positive, areas for improvement, then another positive. So yan. Kasi sabi nga dito, the manager is not just an evaluator, but it also is the coach of that employee. Kasi i-coach natin sila with the things that they need to improve on as well. Di ba? So hindi lang yan scores, numbers lahat. That's why in the BPO space, sabi nila, parang sometimes daw the agents, they feel na robot sila because of numbers lang. But again, it should not be. So engaged teams show higher productivity and lower absenteeism. So, yan. Pag nakita ng mga agents na or mga employees na si manager, si supervisor very engaged, nag-a-ask about things, interested about interested na malaman not just why or not just about the numbers, bakit na fail, but also what's the reason behind it. So those things. So data and technology. So HRIS or the human resource na mga tool, information system, tools replace spreadsheets. It enables real-time tracking, analytics, and transparency. So eto, usually mga HRIS naman, it's built, it could be housed in an internal server or an external server, but most are being housed on the cloud. Pero HRIS kasi is really good because yun nga, matatrack niya real time kung ano yung nangyayari. Kasi sa amin, for example, in the HRIS that I've used, pwede ka maglagay ng coaching agad, send ka ng coaching report, send ka ng coaching schedule sa employee. So matatrack talaga na, okay, so this employee im- ano to? Incident report na need some coaching. Ito, si employee may escalation, makikita siya because it's done real time. Unless, of course, your supervisors did not do it real time. But also, there is analytics involved. So meaning the data is there, readily available, and can be interpreted in a way na mas mabilis and mas efficient. Kasi the data is just there. Ilan yung taong absent for today? So, create a report, filter, bam, download. The report is already there. It also, of course, is very transparent. Kasi 'di ba, nakikita din ni employee yung not all the time na nakikita ni manager, but the score that the manager gave is readily available for the employee to check as well. So it creates that transparency nga. Nagiging mas transparent yung buhay-buhay natin. You can say that. But in the Philippines, again, going back to Pilipinas nating mahal, 58 only still use manual tracking. So nagmamanual pa rin ang 58% of the companies in the Philippines. And that is an opportunity for digitalization talaga. So I know that HRIS are really expensive, but you can create naman kahit ano siya kahit quote-unquote manual pa rin siya, but you can actually utilize Office 365 to be a tool for us to track performance, di ba? Ang tinatawag nila dito na manual tracking, I guess this is more of the pen and paper type pa rin na nalalagay pa rin sa papel yung mga performance track, pina-file pa din, etc. Most of the files kasi, most of the HRIS kasi now, they could even, let you sign your contract there, upload the data that you need to sign, upload everything, declarations, documents that the employee, new employee needs to sign. So madami siyang, purpose, not just your applicant tracking, but also performance management, also yung payroll compensation, filing of leaves, timekeeping, etc. Nasa HRIS na siya. So that's the beauty of it. Questions muna. We're almost halfway. Any questions? Let me, muna may tubig. Walang questions? My lips are dry. Anyway, let's move forward to the next one. What's the Philippine legal and cultural consideration? So yan. Legal requirements from DOLE or the Labor Code that employers can set performance standards but must be fair and transparent. So again, si DOLE man, hindi man yan siya mag-dictate kung ano dapat ang standards ng company, especially if it's a private company. Diba? The private company can create its own metrics, can create its own targets, and also based naman yan sa mga kliyente nila, diba? But the company has its own prerogative. It has its own, kumbaga, freedom to create the targets. For example, si company mag-create siya ng target na kailangan 30% ng interaction mo today, sales. Si labor, hindi naman yun magsasabi na, ay, baba mo pa yan sa 20. Kasi, again, it is the prerogative of the company to set the target. Kasi di ba, si company naman ang may alam. If sa 5 nilang tao, if 30% ang sales dapat in a day, that's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 150, like let's say if we convert that to products. So that's out of 500 products, you need to sell, or all 5 of these employees need to sell 150. So siniset niya ni company na target na parang sa 500 na binibenta natin, dapat 150 mabenta nyo every day. So divide nyo yan sa taglilima kayo, dapat 30 ang mabenta nyo in a day. So yan. Why? Because si company kasi, it will study its revenue. So paano ba ako hindi malulugi? May babae, sisweldo ako sa daily ng mga empleyado ko, may operational cost ako, may mga contingency cost ako, may mga a lot of costs akong binabayaran. Saan ako maka-earn or maka-break even? So they will calculate that. That's why si Dolly naman, wala siyang pakialam if mag-set ng sariling standard si company. As long as it is fair. Number 1, fair ba siya? Meaning, lahat kayo, ganyan yung targets nyo unless you are a people leader na iba yung targets mo. Pero dapat fair siya sa lahat. Hindi pwede na si Melchor ang target niya 25% lang, pero si Thea ang target niya 50%. So, hindi siya fair to everyone. Also, hindi din fair to set a target of 60 where ang kailangan lang to at least operate would be around 45 or let's say 25 lang. So, 25 lang ang need on a daily basis to operate, but you are setting the target at 30, meaning you have 5% na revenue on a daily basis, and then that's good. Okay, kasi pwede ka na magreklamo na, oh, ako, ang target ko sa akin is 50%, tapos it goes up every week. So, is that fair? No. Also, it should be transparent. That's why, pag may mga kaso-kaso na yan, si Dole, mag-check yan ng mga documents, supplementary documents to support the complaint or to support the defense of the company at the time. So, dapat transparent siya. Dapat nakikita talaga mga performance, ano yung mga ganito, naka-document siya. Okay? And it should also be communicated clearly. So, ang expectations, dapat na-communicate siya clearly sa empleyado. Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na what are your basis of regularization. So, dapat na-communicate na yan na, okay, so daily, may 30% tayo na daily target, but monthly, it would go up to 35. So, ang daily target mo is 30, pero by the end of the month, dapat at least you hit at 35%. Anong reason ito? Bakit hindi na lang i-30? Kasi pag 30 lang yan, sometimes the employees are being complacent. Na parang, na-hit ko na yung target, hindi na ako magbibenta. So, si company naman, okay, 30% on a daily basis, pero monthly, ang target mo, end of the month, it should be 35. If you hit 35, may bonus ka na. So, di ba, maiengganyo ang mga empleyado to, okay, sige, I'll do better kasi may bonus. So, yun, the higher your score is, the more rewards you will get. So, yeah. Question about this before I move to the next one? Medyo short ang ating It's only like 29 slides, but it's still long. Yun nga, I need questions para at least baka I forgot something, di ba? I could supplement it with something I know na wala sa slide. Kasi you can only put too much sa isang slide, right? Minsan may malimutan kang mga factors, may mga aspects ka na makalimutan. So that's something na mas-solution ng questions here, if you have. Okay, let's move to the next one. Due process for poor performance. So, what if si empleyado hindi nag-perform. Ano yung gagawin ni company? So, yan. Ano ba yung gagawin ni company? It should be, tanggal agad? Sometimes, si company magsasabi na, especially pag hindi regular, di ba? Iko-coach ka ni supervisor, magsasabi si supervisor na you need to hit your target sa next month. Pag hindi ka pa rin nakahit, kung hindi ka regular, hindi ka i-regularize, di ba? But that's okay. If it's documented and it's the basis of your regularization na hindi mo talaga nahihit, then you can be terminated or you can be removed for non-regularization. Pwede yun. Pero what if regular na sa employee? Di ba? First is, of course, magsisend si supervisor ng notice to explain. Asking the employee bakit hindi siya nagpe-perform for the past 3 months. Hindi naman mag-NTE si company pag 1 month pa lang na hindi nag-perform, di ba? Kasi it could be a coaching point, di ba? Iko-coach ni manager si employee bakit what's the reason na hindi na-hit. They will deep dive into the score, titingnan yung data, ano ba yung mga reason na hindi na hit yung target, etc. Pero pag 3 months na consecutive, wala pa din, minsan magno-notice to explain na or ipapatawag na, okay, notice to explain on writing, not on, in writing, explain kung ano yung nangyari, bakit hindi mo na-hit yung target mo for the 3 months, for example. And then si employee naman, magbibigay siya ng response within 3 to 5 business days or 3 to 5 days. So magre-respond yan. Ito yung reason, ganito, ganito. And then there should be a final decision with documentation. So normally, ano yung nangyayari sa final decision? Tatanggalin ba agad? In my previous company kasi, I don't believe na tanggalin agad yung empleyado. I was also the head of people and talent for my previous company. So I handled HR, not just recruitment. So before kasi in my company, once we do, okay, nag-respond na si employee. So si manager, yung iisipin, what's the next step, right? So minsan, we still do, hindi lang minsan, all the time, we still do the PIP or the Performance Improvement Plan, diba? Ilalagay namin si employee sa PIP and then we will set the goals and the targets for 30 days. Then every week, may review ng performance, what is happening by the end of the month. If pumasa siya, then maki-clear na siya ng PIP, but he is expected to perform the following month after. Pero what if hindi pa rin siya nag-graduate sa PIP or sa PIP? Normally, the employee is coach or kakausapin yan. The management will talk to them and they will be given a last 30 days. Na dapat in the next 30 days, you'll improve your score. Pag hindi, pwede kang i-terminate because of non-performance. So, yun. So, pero dapat, yun nga yung sabi ko, there should be interventions para hindi tayo magka-problema sa DOLE. Kasi si DOLE magsasabi yan na, ano yung mga interventions na nilagay nyo? What are the things that you do? So, you can show them that we have a coaching session, multiple coaching sessions. We have placed the employee sa PIP, pero hindi pa rin siya pumasa. We extended the PIP for 30 days, hindi pa rin pumasa. So, no choice. We need to separate. Okay? Question about this. I slept the entire day, pero I'm still sleepy. Any questions? Questions? None? Okay, let's move to the key principles. So performance management must be consistent. That means dapat kung ano yung schedule nun. Like if it's a monthly, a weekly touch base, then a quarterly review, then a mid-year review, then another quarterly review, and an annual performance review, then it should be consistent. Hindi pwede na, di ba, ang iba kay bago pa lang si manager, grabe, every week may coaching session, pero after na regular na, wala na. Kahit monthly session, wala. Magbibigay lang ng score annually, idodoktor na lang lahat. So it's not transparent as well, okay? And it should be documented, di ba? Meaning, every performance review should be documented. Meron dapat documentation nun. And lastly, it should be unbiased. Di ba? When we say unbiased, it should stick true to the targets and walang part of it na dahil feel lang ni manager. But there is a part naman siguro in the behavioral process, qualitative part of it, but it should also be documented. Na yan yung score because of what? Okay? Next. Questions muna. Questions? Questions. No questions? Sige. I'll move na ha. So, cultural considerations in the Philippines. So, sometimes, di ba, as Filipinos, even ako, I'm very guilty of this. I cannot say something bad sometimes, and even if you're Bisaya, we call it badlong, pagalitan, right, in Tagalog. We don't get angry or pagsabihan ang tao because nahihiya tayo that it may offend the feelings. But if we're giving kasi a criticism, if we're giving a performance review, we should be objective, right? We only give them the data based sa performance nila and based sa documented na mga scores. So hindi naman, bakit tayo mahihiya to tell them that they suck, di ba? Or pangit yung performance nila. Kasi pangit naman talaga. But as Filipinos, sometimes we sugarcoat how we say things, di ba? Hindi tayo like in the Americans eh. Your score for the week sucks! Maganyan na sila. So Pinoy kay, what happened? Why is it that your scores are not really all green? Mga ganyan pa yan. But the feedback must be presented constructively then. Okay, so dapat constructive yung criticisms natin. Hindi lang siya na straight to the point, but also do not also deviate from the facts. Be objective if you're an HR or a manager. Dapat objective lang talaga tayo sa mga feedback natin. Okay, so number 2, sa Philippines naman, we have a very strong value regarding relationships, di ba? Sometimes birds mo sa imong tao. Ako, I'm very close to my recruiters na minsan ma-hurt ako na mag-resign sila. But I put it in my mind always na if it's something better, if we cannot do anything to improve or to match kung ano yung na-offer sa kanya, then by all means. Pero we always tell them kasi na to make sure that they are aware of what's happening. Kasi 'di ba, minsan sa mga job offer, we always know that maganda siya on paper, maganda siya tingnan, but when we are already in the company, then we discover na hindi naman pala siya ganun kaaya-aya. The culture is something that needs to be looked at when you are looking for a job. So minsan may mga company na ang culture nila is padrino-padrino, like kumpare-kumpare. That's also very wrong. Kasi wala na po-promote na performer dahil ang napopromote yung kumpare or yung mga friends. So that's really a wrong company for you. If you are very focused on the goals and your objectives, and then yan yung basis of performance, then that's not for you. Okay, so and also minsan yun nga dahil we are very familiar with the people we work with, 'di ba? Sometimes it's difficult to be upfront with them. Pero sa akin kasi it's also nice to coach them in a way na hindi lang siya all numbers. You need to also understand what's happening in the background. And that's why here on the slide, it says that coaching approach works better talaga if, we want to let the coaching sink in. Sometimes nga sinasabihan ko sila na, as a friend, I don't want to see you na ganito siya kasi nasa spotlight ka ng mga higher ups, etc. So, yun yung mga sinasabi ko sa kanila din. Okay, employees respond well to, number one, recognition, of course, di ba? Pag may mga top employee of the month, dyan yung mga picture-picture nila sa wall, they appreciate it. Or may pa-email si HR na, congratulations to this person for being the top performer for the month, etc. So, yun, gusto nila yan. And supportive leadership. Of course, supportive leadership is when your leaders go to you and hindi talaga naglalagay ng, sometimes kasi ang mga leaders are, manager ko, call me manager. Mga ganyan. Kasi may nakikita pa ko yan kahit sa current company ko. 1 minute lang. Okay, so like there are instances na yung supervisor na promote, tapos, oh no, manager na ako. Manager dapat ang itawag mo sa akin. Di ba? First name naman yan dapat. But again, we can't blame them naman siguro, but some people are really into the role. Ako, usually I don't really tell everyone na director diba? That I'm a director. I interact with maintenance. I interact with everyone in the company. I ask them if they're okay. I say good morning to the guards and everything. Binibilhan ko yan sila ng mga donuts and everything if I have extra money. But that's something kasi that, you need to give them like really support. Ang mga tao ko, if they tell me na I'm not feeling well, I would tell them na, you file a sick leave and you rest. If wala naman kaming masyadong gabing targets. But if we have like urgent, I would just tell them na, delegate it to someone, talk to your teammate, have someone handle that for now, and then you rest. You file for a sick leave. So, yun yung dynamics namin sa office. I don't even say no sa mga leaves nila. Ang rule lang namin is hindi dapat dalawang tao from one team ang magli-leave at the same day. So yan lang yung ano. But you can leave for 3 days, 5 days. Bahala ka basta may tao lang sa team mo na magko-cover. That's our rule sa team ko. So yeah. I have a teammate, I have a recruiter who's going to saan ba yun siya? Yung may I don't know if Siargao or where's that basta mga beach na pupuntahan mag-out siya ng 1 week. So sa akin sige as long as you delegate it na to someone who handles it for you, I'm fine with it. Kasi I love to travel. Like next week I'll be out then for 8 days. Kasi I'm flying somewhere then. So I'll leave it to my supervisors. Yung mga supervisors ko yung i-delegate ko yung task ko sa kanila. But I told them naman, even if I'm out of the country, you can just tell me kung if there's a problem na dapat i-escalate nyo sa akin, then, do so. But sabi ko, sinabihan ko din kasi we have the global head of recruitment na I report to then. So, sinabihan ko din siya na I'll delegate some of the tasks to him for like mga approvals and everything that I can't access outside the country. So, yun lang. It should be supported. So if you are in a position of a manager or supervisor before, in the future, dapat you should also consider like, how people end up there. Bakit masama yung performance nila? There might be an underlying reason. Could be personal. They might want to talk about it, or they might not want to talk about it, but you could ask if there are reasons, that hinders them from performing. Kasi some pala, like may mga issues na kailangan nilang i-deal with. Nagkasakit pala ang parents, nasa hospital pala ang anak, yung mga ganon. So you give them time. If kaya naman na wala sila for a couple of days, give it to them. Give them that support na, okay, sige, you go on leave muna, you take care of emergency leave ka, you take care of your parents or your kids or whatever na issues mo. And they would really appreciate that. Na, you are helping them solve their concerns or address their concerns. Kasi di ba ang iba nahihiya din. Nahihiya din sila mag-ask na permission, na sir, ganito. I don't even want them to call me sir pala. So Kael lang yan. So Kael, need help with this. O sige, you support them. Kasi, again, if the employees are felt or feel supported, they would also support you. So, pag nakita ng mga team ko na eto yung scores natin are dipping for like a month or two na, magsasuggest yan sila ng mga strategies. Eto yung gagawin namin, eto yung ganito. So, because they feel that you support them, it's also a feeling that they have na they need to support the team to make it successful as well. So, yun lang naman siya. Questions? Wala? Sige, let's move on to the next one. I don't know, Pipes, baka matapos tayo in like 15-20 minutes. I hope that's fine. So the simple framework, making it easy. Okay, so we have 5-step simplified model or the CLEAR framework. So when we do performance management, number 1 or letter C should be clarifying of goals. What are the defined KPIs or key performance indicators or OKRs, yung sabi kanina, di ba? Objective and key responsibilities, clearly. So, eto, isi-set nyo to after the annual performance review. If the company already has clear targets, cascade it, and make sure that you define ano yung targets to your employees or to the employees themselves. Para at least at the start of the year, alam na nila, okay, so kailangan pala namin ma-hit ng 40% ang sales, ganito percent ang attendance, ganitong percent ang late or tardiness, ganitong percent ang attrition, ganitong percent ang growth. It should be really, really clear at the start of the year or the calendar year or the fiscal year. Number 2, link to the business. Align individual goals to company strategy. Ito yung sabi ko kanina nung nagkakascade siya. Company goals, 2 departments, 2 teams, 2 individual goals. So dapat yung individual goal ni employee should be connected to the team goal, which is connected to the department goal, and finally connected to the company's goal. So yun. For example, sa amin, like, dinidivide yan. Ito yung goal ni company. Dapat mag-earn si company ng ganitong percent of revenue. Ano ang goal ni recruitment? So si recruitment, for that, dapat makahit tayo ng targets to support the growth within sa ganitong time. So we convert it to numbers para ma-measure namin. And then, okay, so ito yung target ni recruitment, dapat makahit tayo ng ganito, dapat ang attrition natin mababa, dapat ang fallout sa training mababa. Then, ikakascade siya sa team. So, we give it to, let's say, to our HR team. So, the HR team, to support the growth of the company, should lessen the attrition to 8%. Diba? Because the entire human resources na target is to make sure na mag-grow ang company. Walang fallout. So sa recruitment naman, if connecting to the target of dapat walang fallout, should be na there should be like, say, 20% lang dapat ang fallout after 90 days of training. Parang ganon. So, and then you cascade that to the individual recruiter na dapat si recruiter, ang mga in-endorse na candidate, magstay sa company after 90 days. So, yun siya, ikakascade mo siya, and nililink mo talaga yung target ng empleyado or ng tao mo to the goal of the company. So, yun. Number 3, engage continuously. So, dapat, ito yung sabi natin kanina, there should be weekly check-ins or bi-monthly if it's not weekly, every 2 weeks, or even just monthly check-ins. So, hindi po, masama naman yun ng everyday, guys, diba? Everyday mag-coaching mo, you're wasting time instead na magtrabaho ka to hit your target, nagko-coach lang kayo. But ako kasi, I would still go around, talk to them, like yung mga pep talk lang na, how are you today? Oh, how's your target? Kamusta? Nag-sign na ba ng contract yung empleyado na na-hire natin or yung candidate na na-hire natin? Nakasign na ba tayo ng offer? Mga ganyan lang. But it's not talking about numbers. It's not talking about the performance. Kamustahin mo lang. How's the interview last night? How did it go? How many passed ba? Mga ganun. So, hindi naman siya formal na coaching, but, Pero I really require my supervisors to do a weekly check-in sa mga tao nila. And then ako, I do a monthly check-in sa mga recruiter ko. But I also do a weekly check-in sa mga supervisors. So that's how we do the feedback system in my team. So we also need to assess fairly. Yung sabi natin na performance management should be very, very objective. Diba? Objective siya dapat. We need to use the data, kung anong data yung nakuha natin from our HRIS, from the scorings. It should be used plus the 360 degrees feedback. Diba? Dapat may behavioral naman kasi ng mga feedback, may performance feedback din. But you need to merge that together to have a fair assessment. And also reinforce growth. So dapat may coaching, may development plan. For example, when you're coaching a new employee, you need to ask them, ano yung mga plans mo? Okay, will you be staying in recruitment? Are you okay with handling a team? Or hindi ka? Kasi we need to define your career path sa company. Like within 3 days, ganito na dapat tayo. Dapat within 1 year, natapos ka na sa mga internal certification. Dapat may mga training na if you want to be a supervisor. Enroll ka na dapat sa academy ng company, ganyan. So dapat meron kang development plan para si employee has something to look forward to and has something na may goal siya in mind na okay, dapat tapusin ko na pala itong mga internal na mga training namin. Tapusin ko na to yung mga compliance. Tapusin ko na itong mga assessments internally. So, yun. Questions muna before we proceed. Questions? Wala na? Okay, let's proceed to the next one then. What are the key takeaways ba and the wrap up na? So, eto na tayo nearing the end of our not really the end pa. Meron tayo itong mga stuff. But what are the key takeaways and of this discussion? So performance management, number 1, is ongoing. Ongoing siya. So hindi siya dapat na one time, big time. Okay? Kasi ang score mo annually, it should lead up to that score. Kumbaga, ano ang mga nangyayari in between for you to end up with that scoring. Kasi pangit naman na i-fail mo lang siya sa annual performance. Ano ba yung ginawa mo na intervention sa loob ng 11 months, di ba? So it should be, again, ongoing. Kasi even after the annual appraisal, di ba? Meron na naman yung next. May goal setting ka na naman. You need to do a touch base on a quarter na naman to review the annual goals, etc. You also need to focus on conversations over the forms. Kasi di ba sometimes the supervisor, the manager is too glued. Focus lang talaga siya sa score, sa numbers, ganito, ganito. So it should not be that. And it should also focus on growth more than the rating. So ano ba yung growth na nangyari sa empleyado? Even though konti lang yung movement ng scores niya, he barely passed. Pero you're not looking at, kulelat siya last month. Pero this month, top 5 na siya. Yes, out of 6, pero top 5 siya. So may growth pa din, It's something that they would appreciate if you would tell them that, what are the things that they did well. And then also ask them, ano pa ba yung pwede mong gawin to move from number 5 to number 4 next month, 'di ba? Those things. Also, technology and structure simplify the process. Kasi pag walang technology na help, again, it could be biased, it could be lost. At least if it is safeguarded, it's already there, it becomes transparent. And the structure itself, kailangan kasi you need to create a performance management cycle. If you're an HR or if you're asked by the management to do it, kailangan may cycle yan. That, with or without you, mag-move lang siya pa rin. So like in my previous organization, I created a performance management cycle. So third month appraisal, fifth month appraisal, regularization, quarterly check, mid-year, quarterly, annual. So yan yung performance cycle ko. So even if I'm not there, I already left the company. So they're still using the performance management cycle I put in place. So, and in the Philippines, balance compliance sa DOLE, di ba may mga compliance tayo, that it should be labor standards, etc. Culture, which is the Filipino culture, very close-knit, and also development. Hindi pwede na culture lang. Sabihan mo lang siya na, gusto mo ma-promote, gusto mo magka-increase, friends man tayo. Diba? Pero friends nga kayo, but you're not paying the rent. Naman, siya naman yung nagbibili ng gatas para sa anak niya or mga dog food. Diba? So, yes, you're friends, but, you give Simon what is due to Simon. And also development. Kasi again, promotion and recognition is really a big thing in the Philippines. So pag na-promote ang isang tao, it's a moment of pride talaga. It's really something. Okay, so I actually got this from the internet. Ito yung itsura ng mga could be a scorecard template, but this is not really the performance appraisal na form. But it could be the basis of your scorecard is actually one of the basis of the appraisal naman. So my objective siya, increase revenue growth, improve profitability, and reduce costs. My KPI, or what's measurable, quarterly revenue is the target. Net profile margin target, operating cost ratio target. Then what's the actual based on the data? And what are the notes? So notes, missed target due to delayed marketing campaign, cost reductions in logistics, slightly over budget on web development. From the customer's perspective, what's the objective? Okay, what's the target? Increase customer satisfaction. The target is CSAT score 1 to 10, target 8.5, actual 8.8. What's notes? Same. Internal process perspective. Okay, what's the objective? What's the target? What's the actual? Status notes. So yan siya talaga, guys. There's also like, yan. Objective, boost employee training. How would you measure it? So there should be 10 hours of workshop, for example. Sa amin ngayon, may mga target kami. Partnership. Like sa akin, partnerships. I have a target on process improvement. So, I did a whole partnership process. I did a whole um, ano yun, feedback process, and that's actually my measurable goal. Like, so like example sa amin, every site dapat may isang partnership na ma-sign per year. So like for me in Tacloban, I have one in Ormoc, I will have one in Cebu, I will have one. So okay na kami. I mean, passable na. Actually exceed na siya ng expectation. Anyway, sige, let's move on to the next one. This is a sample lang of the scorecard. You can lift the data from this to the performance appraisal form. Okay, next is the HRIS. So HRIS, what does it stand for? It's Human Resources or Human Resource Information System. So it's again, as I've said earlier, hindi lang siya attendance or recruitment or whatever. It is the entirety of it all. So it has activity management. Ito din yung way na nagsisend ng reports, nagsisend ng mga notice si HR to the entire employee workforce, career and development, payroll, library of all the handbooks, all the reading materials, they're there. Reports, evaluation on a monthly basis, benefits also there, recruitment. Kami talaga sa recruitment yung first. Kasi part of the HRIS is an ATS or an applicant tracking system. We do the requisitions, we post the jobs, we post it anywhere na mga pwede namin ma-link, then people apply there, we move candidates, etc. Also, employee management. So, ito yung i-on-board ba, i-off-board, nag-resign, paano siya i-remove. Part of that is still within the system. So, these are some of the sample HRIS. Siyempre, gilagay ko talaga si Darwin Box dyan kasi Darwin Box is what we're using. Sprout, Monday, of course. Monday, if you're a VA, kailangan alam nyo din i-manipulate ito kasi some of the clients, they would prefer Monday or Bamboo HR. So yeah, I've also used some of the other HRIS like PeopleSoft. We have, ano nga yung ginagamit namin? Bob, hey Bob. So we have Bob. For time tracking, sa amin kasi minsan separate siya, like time tracking is separate. We use Simpa before. So yan yung mga different na HRIS na pwede yung pag-aralan. You can, study it, especially yung mga may HR dyan na degree that wanted to be in HR. Learn how to use an HRIS as early as now. So at least during your interview, if you're going to be asked, do you know how to use an HRIS? So you can talk about it. Okay, let's move to the final insight. So eto final na to guys So I think we ended up early kasi hindi kayo nagko-question. So we ended we will end like 20 minutes earlier. But our final insight is of course about performance management. So this is no longer about judging the past, but we enable future success through continuous feedback, alignment, and growth. So hindi na siya dahil lang you failed last month, okay? So it should be enabling the employee to succeed by giving them a continuous feedback. You give them a feedback, ano na yung trabaho, what happened, etc. You align the goals of the employee to the goals of the company and also what's in it for them, the growth, their possibility of like internal movement, etc. So yan lang. Do you have any other questions? None na? Wala na talagang questions? Wala namang may nagta-type na questions. So if there are no more questions, Pipes, I think that's it. I'm done with the presentation. I hope you guys learned something from it. So yan lang. Piper, I'll give back the ano to you.
Okay, so maraming salamat.
Wala kasing question, so
Yun nga no.
hindi
Pero it's
natin
okay.
ma-expound yung ano. Kasi always, di ba, if we have questions, we can expound the discussion. But it's fine naman.
Yes.
I just hope that everyone learns. Thank you, guys.
Okay, so maraming salamat, Mentor Michael, for sharing your insights no in regards to how to optimize employee performance. Actually, I am also listening no sa discussion mo because I also need to properly plan and structure paano ko din ba i-conduct no yung performance management para sa aming mga staff din. So ako mismo naka-learn no from the insights that you shared tonight. So with that guys, sa ating mga participants ngayon, if you still have questions, open pa naman no yung ating open forum. All you need to do is just to leave your questions dito sa chat box tapos mababasa naman yan ng ating mentor. And while waiting for that, let me check also baka merong mga questions no through the Facebook live streaming. Ayan, so sa mga to those na nasa Facebook live, if ever you have questions as well, just utilize the comment section. Tapos ako na lang ang magre-relay sa ating mentor sa tanong ninyo. Also, nakikita nyo na rin, obviously, no, sa screen, yung ating QR code na kapag na-scan ninyo yan, i-redirect kayo sa attendance natin for tonight. So, pwede ninyong gamitin ang QR code na yan. Or, I am also going to chat it here sa ating chat box para meron lang tayong backup just in case na merong problems na ma-encounter sa pag-scan ng QR code. Baka yung iba sa inyo ang ginagamit as of the moment is a computer, no, na wala siyang ano yan, yung QR code scanner. So that's your QR code for the attendance. And baka meron pang pahabol na questions no habang hinihintay natin yon. I am inviting you to participate sa mga naiwan pa nating webinars for the month of June. Actually, meron pa tayong 5. Kasama dyan kasi yung Financial Management 104. Na-reschedule kasi yan siya. Mamumove siya this 23rd, this coming Tuesday. So kung kasama ang financial management, this is all about retirement planning and retirement management. So just register if you're interested. On the 24th, meron tayong business communication. Sa 27th naman, meron tayong AI for smart business development. On the 29th of June, this is another professional development and we are going to talk about mental health in the workplace. At yung pinakahuli na webinar for the month is all about records management, specifically on effective digital filing and electronic records management. So if you are interested sa mga remaining webinars, you can still register. Alam niyo naman yung process kung paano mag-register, kaya mag-fill up lang kayo ng form. Okay, so since wala naman tayong questions na na-receive, yes, I believe na intindihan naman clearly ng ating mga participants yung discussion. I am also hoping na yung mga na-share this evening ni Mentor, Kael, magagamit ninyo kung hindi man ngayon, in the future, no? Sa sarili ba ninyong business or as an HR practitioner? Kasi baka maging kasama sa magiging duties and responsibilities ninyo in your role as an HR professional. Okay, so With that, I am inviting all of you again to follow us on our social media accounts. Palagi kaming active yung aming posting sa Facebook page. Kaya I am encouraging you, kung hindi pa kayo nakapag-follow, please follow us on Facebook. Hanapin nyo lang po yung Scale Up Training and Development para you are always updated, notified every time na meron kaming mga panibagong learning activity. So since wala naman tayong mga questions, pwede na rin nating i-dismiss at i-end ang ating learning session ngayong gabi. So on behalf of Scale Up Training and Development, maraming salamat again to our mentor for your time tonight and to our participants who also invested their Saturday evening with Scale Up to learn about HR performance management. So I hope na magkikita-kita pa rin tayo in our future webinars. So keep safe always, everyone. You can still be productive for the rest of this Saturday evening. God bless you all. And always remember, we are your Scale Up partner. Goodbye for now, everyone.
Thank you guys. Bye.